And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Knight. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch it now, Barney.
A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit!
From the gun, Knight. And the Browns pressure pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game was we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. David Njoku was the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
On third down, Mayfield. Looking downfield for Jones. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside, and it's a lot longer run, and you got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and hurt him out of bounds.
Flush to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
To throw on second down. Knight. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Check 26, check 26. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Knight. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. That's complete right around the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with touchdown #8 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
Woo! You got him! You got him! You got him! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on second down. Knight. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Knight. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick. Marius Randall. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Second down, Mayfield. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the 1st down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll go with the keeper, and he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
6-18. Hey, 7-34.
First throw now for the backup call. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jamie Collins. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, go down. You got 56 there. Check 3.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
4 down, check, 4 down.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
7:34. Go Chiefs.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his first throw here is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the deep.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Jonathan Hankins getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And Jones has it over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Give him 30 yards there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast, game being on second half, no matter what, with those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
808. Hey, 734. 637.
On second down, here's Carr. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Down. 280. 734. 24.
From the gun, it's Carr. Going deep here for Bryant. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Mayfield on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He got 29 yards that time. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They come out here in the eye.
Patriot.
They'll run with Chubb. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Third and goal, they're going with Chubb. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First down, Mayfield. fighting to stay upright. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
The left side completion to Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Gone! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
694. Express. 618.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
60. Later 2. But 5-man box.
Carr. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They run again on first down. Chubb. Room to run inside the 40. And a juke this time. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. A give. This is Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They pitch it to Chubb, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Set. 3-19. 3-19. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
He'll get it up the middle. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and goal.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
run for Nick Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Low. Purdue. I'm coming after you.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Carr will try it again on second down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on